Hey, well, good afternoon to y'all. Hey, good afternoon. Listen, what a day. This is a day that the Lord has made. It's Thursday. Man, I just want to share some words with you. I want to share some truth with you. Some things I think is very important for us to know what's going on. Let's catch up. Let's talk about it. And it's just weighing heavy on my heart. What's say, Deja Marie? How you doing? Hey, good to see you. Man, we got to keep pushing. We can't stop. We can't quit. We can't we can't throw in the towel, y'all. We got to keep pushing, all right? So that's very important. So let me just share a couple of things about what's happening and where we are. So currently, our legislature, they are in conference where they choose members from the House and the Senate to see if a compromise can be worked out in order to bring a bill that both houses will support. When the conference committee was chosen, there's only one African American member on the conference committee, and he is a member of the Hinds County delegation. The rest of them are Caucasian. So they've chosen those people that are part of that conference committee, and they chose Representative Earl Banks to be a part of that committee as only African American and Democrat. The rest are either one independent, the rest are Republicans. And so now that group is trying to hammer out a deal that will benefit a over 80% predominantly African American population. And one of the issues and I guess why they chose Representative Banks is because he was actually a supporter of the Capitol Police and the bill, believing that is what's needed to keep Jackson safe. Let me tell you where I am, and I keep saying this over and over again, is any version of House Bill 1020 is a tragedy. Any releasing of that particular police department on the citizens of Jackson is a tragedy. They have blood on their hands. I'm telling you, it is unbelievable, and I'm just blown away by how easy they have navigated this in order to have their own judges, in order to do what they're doing, and it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. And so I think it's important that we continue to keep and stay vigilant. I thank God for all those that are being vigilant about it. But it's serious stuff. It's serious stuff. Okay. I had a chance meeting yesterday with I was out to eat, going to lunch, and I ran into Commissioner Tyndale. And we actually met for the first time, talked briefly, and what I shared with Commissioner Tyndale was maybe if they would have been willing to meet with Miss Lewis and to meet with us months ago, maybe it would be a different conversation. I'm not sure, but I know this is that without serious changes, without a backing away from the taking over of Jackson, without a backing away from aggressive, violent policing by that particular unit of the Capitol Police, everything is a no deal. Now, one of the things he shared with me was he said he doesn't turn down any meetings that he wanted to sit down. And I can only assume that his subordinates never got the invites to him that we've been trying to meet with him, man, all the way back since September. When his rogue group of vigilante officers that were hired as contract laborers took the life of Jalen Lewis, right? So I'm telling you, it's serious stuff, and we need everybody to understand how serious it is, okay? So we need everybody on board understanding what we're up against, all right? So we got to work the work. Listen, guys, we are moving now to a place where we have to move from what do we need to do? What must we do? Because let me tell you, they are not going to stop. And by any means necessary must we stand up. We must stand and take a stand for the least of these. And whatever that means, whatever we must do, we must take a stand. And I'm telling you, it is so serious here because oftentimes what we do is we go to sleep on these matters, and we go to sleep not understanding that it's still happening. It's still going on, and it's still serious, and we can't go to sleep. We got to stay vigilant about what's going on because I'm telling you, they're not going to stop. They're not going to quit. And every year we must have voices that are speaking on behalf of the people of Jackson, Mississippi. Yeah, Floyd, I'm glad I didn't get to see you. We can get together soon. But listen, guys, I am first and foremost the senior pastor of New Jerusalem Church. I serve and have been serving here this week, be 27 years as the senior pastor of New Jerusalem. And I'm also the founder and head of schools of our Christian school, which we've had in operation over 20 years. Here's what I'm saying to you, is that as people of God, we cannot afford to be silent, okay? We cannot afford not to take a stand on what's right and do what's right for all people. Now, I want to share some bullets with you real quick because we got to move, listen, from not just identifying the problem, but let's talk about solutions. What are solutions? What must we do? What must we take responsibility to do? Well, first and foremost, let's understand that there are different spheres of society that we got to be involved in. Now, as I told you, I'm unapologetically a believer, and I'm unapologetically kingdom-minded. It means I believe with the very deepest part of my heart and mind and my soul that if we seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, everything will come into alignment. Okay? So we got to bring things into alignment. So our understanding things being into alignment is, let's understand our responsibility. Now, I want to speak here from a ministerial, a pastoral, a believer standpoint to say this first and foremost, is that it is our job as believers to impact and to bring kingdom influence in the social, spiritual, political, educational, business, economics, entertainment, media, and sports. Every sphere of society should we be exercising influence as believers. Now, let me flip the script on that. As good citizens, we, all of us have responsibility, okay? We have responsibility to make sure justice is happening. We have responsibility to make sure even the least of these, we've got to be a part of the solution. Here's where I am. Where I am is I'm willing to do whatever it takes to make life better for all people. And something that somebody I respect and love greatly, I don't want anybody to misunderstand this, but I won't even mention his name, but he said, I don't even know whether people in Jackson or people in Mississippi want to go. Let me tell y'all something. You are not qualified to make those statements if you have not walked in the shoes that people in our state has walked. See, what we miss out and don't understand is when you are a celebrity, white people in Mississippi treat you differently than they treat those of us that are citizens who've been here all our life. Okay? It's a different ballgame. And they acquiesce or they bow down to celebrity. Okay? But not those of us that have been here grinding year after year. Let me make you perfectly understand something. People in Jackson, Mississippi want a better life. People in Jackson, Mississippi want to do the things that are necessary. But let me tell you something. Opportunity is not always there for everybody. And I think sometimes we miss that and we lose sight of some of the things that other people have opportunity to experience that we have not had that experience. That has not been a part of many people. And I say, man, I'm not talking about myself because many doors were open for me, and I've spent my adult life, trying to open doors for other people. Okay? So what I'm telling you is that's what we got to be about as men and women of God. We got to be people who are willing to do what's necessary. Now, I want to share a scripture with you. Proverbs 11:14, the Living Bible said, without wise leadership, a nation is in trouble. We must have wise leadership in our community, in our city, in our nation. We must have wise leadership. We got to be wise. And you're right. And you're right. We are very educated. And there are many people that are striving to make life better. I think sometimes we get a raw deal because people that are in bigger cities and bigger places, and they talk about all of their success where abundance is all around them. We are fighting, and we believe we've been planted here. I'm in Mississippi because I believe this is where I've been planted to make a difference. And what I decided is to give the best of my life to serve other people. And I think it's important that we understand that. Okay? We got to understand that we're in a battle. Okay? We're in a battle and we must fight. Let me share another verse that jumped out at me. It's from Proverbs. Proverbs 28:2 says, when there is moral rot within a nation, its government topples easily. But wise and knowledgeable leaders bring stability. When there's moral rot, okay, let me explain something to y'all. The welfare scandal that you've been hearing about, it is not new. When they began to move and funnel money that was meant for poor and disenfranchised people, let me tell you, I've been around 27 years. It didn't start with the current situation. If they would investigate monies that have been given from even the previous, listen to me, the previous Department of Human Services, before the guy that has pled guilty, you go back some years, you're going to find funds that were meant for poor and disadvantaged people that were given out. And I'm telling you, it's serious, okay? So it ain't nothing new. I want y'all to understand that. So it's not new. It's not new. This is not new. They've been doing it. That's been a part of what's happened. And I'm telling you, if they go in and research it, you're going to find that TANF money was given to different organizations over the years to put in gym floors. Oh yeah. That didn't come to a black organization. It didn't come to an African American organization. I mean, see, there are skeletons in the closet, but you got where there's moral rot, within a state. And what we have is a moral rot. It's morally uh, incomprehensible why our state won't provide health care that's paid for by the federal government. That is moral rot. It is moral rot that they want to establish a city within a city and put people under an apartheid type system to even suggest that. It's moral rot for people to have been picked up and charged with crimes while we have a welfare scandal that many of those involved in that have not even been charged. They have not even been charged with a crime, right? So understand this now. You got to understand. You got to understand that this is very deep stuff. It's very serious stuff. And we can't stop. Let me mention this to you. If you can tell me that we have the type of representation in our state for our people that you are comfortable with, that you're okay with, then you know what? I'll sit back. But you gotta show me that. Okay? You gotta show me that that's real stuff. Because I'm telling you, this is unbelievable. Okay? When you know that those that are representing you are playing along with the people that are trying to take over your city, they are playing along with them. They are with them. Yes, they might be voting against it, but they were a part of establishing it and working and putting it together. Nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody wants to mention that. Nobody wants to, you can't have peace without some conflict. You can't have peace without talking about it. I need y'all to understand that even in my case, you could not have told me 6 months ago that I would be a candidate for Mississippi State Senator. You couldn't have told me that 6 months ago. It was nowhere in my playbook to run for office. As a matter of fact, if my opponent can sit down with me and help me understand how, after 16 years, he's a better representation and he's gotten things done and he's represented us strongly enough, and those that are my advisors sit down and say, this is why, then guess what? I want to do what's best for the team. But I don't see that our representation has been best for the team. I don't see how not just my opponent, but some of them are running not even contested. Nobody's running against them. And I don't understand how we think that's what's best for the team, and we've done nothing but gone backwards. We need a voice. We need a voice. We need somebody that is not afraid to speak up and don't wait till election year to start talking. We need a voice. We need somebody that's going to know what's going on. Let me tell you something. Had it not been for Representative Blackman and others that exposed what was going on, our delegation was simply going along with the plan and we knew nothing about it. Now, I don't mean to get animated. Let me calm down. My wife said I got to calm down. Listen, y'all. I'm not angry with anybody. I'm not upset with anybody. I just believe we need strong representation in our community. And the reason I'm a candidate for state senator of District 29 is I really believe that a lifelong Mississippi resident, a graduate of Terry High School, a pastor who has served as a senior pastor in Jackson, Mississippi for 27 years, who taught school in Jackson Public Schools, I believe I'm a great representation for my community. And it cannot be that we become a people that say, I was told this. Why is Pastor Pickett running against Senator Blunt? First of all, this Pastor Pickett's right. And they say, we like Senator Blunt. And guess what? I like Senator Blunt. Okay, as a person, I like him. But then somebody say, well, he come to our churches and take pictures with us. Are you telling me that we have narrowed down representation to people that show up? Y'all got to be kidding me. Listen, I want you to understand something. I'm running for state senator because I believe I'm supposed to help change the fabric of the state of Mississippi. And it's a challenge. It's a real challenge. But what we're going to do? What I'm committed to doing is being on the front line. That's it. Being on the front line. When I was 17 years old, I joined the Army. I joined the Army National Guard at 17 years old. When I was 19 years old, I was in Desert Storm fighting a war. Right? I went to Desert Shield, Desert Storm fighting a war. I got hurt while I was in Desert Shield, Desert Storm and received a medical discharge. I was mistreated by the VA hospital, all that stuff. But here I am. And that's just me. I mean, there's so many others that could really be speaking to this, but I have served my country. My uncle gave his life for our country in Desert Storm. The first Mississippian to die in Desert Storm was my uncle, James Wiltshire, Sergeant James Wiltshire. I went to school. I served. I got the degrees. I did all the work that they say we need to do. And I got to live in an environment and pastor in a city where a sitting governor will say it's a good day not to be in Jackson. I got to live in a city where a police department gets to snatch boys out of the car and beat them across the head in 2023. I got to live in a city where basically they execute a young man with no body cameras or footage. And when I bring it to light, I got to live in a city under the threat. In 2023, I saw bombs exploding some years ago in Desert Storm. But in 2023, I got to live with the threat when I exposed what was going on that police officers would attack my own children. And that's just what they did. But nobody's talking about that. My son is experiencing trauma because of the exposure, and now they throw him against glass. One didn't have nothing to charge him with. We ain't forgotten about that, but nobody's going to talk about that. But let me tell you something I'm going to do for life. I'm going to always stand up for mine. First of all, I'm going to stand up for my family. But I'm going to stand up for my community. And I'm going to always stand up for the least of these. Always. That's who I am. And I can't be anybody different. You know, let me tell you something I learned, and they told me this. When you begin to engage in the political climate, People say you're going to find out who your real friends are. And I'm finding out day by day. You know, just a lot of things I'm beginning to understand. But it's unacceptable to me that I can fight in a war and now I got to live in a city where I'm under the treatment of being treated as second-class citizens, where the people that I pastor have to be afraid because of this aggressive policing by Capitol Police. It wasn't good enough that they want to take the water. They want to take the city. They want to have their own judges. Let me tell y'all something. I'm expecting them to keep on fighting us. But boy, we could get together. And if we could unify together, we can become an unstoppable force. Here's what I'm asking for. I'm asking for prayers. I need prayers. I need a lot of prayers. 2, I'm asking for people to come together. Let's sit down and reason together. But I'm also asking, man, let's stick together and let's save our community. Let me explain something to you. You might not like the current administration, but this can't be about like. We got to stand our ground for our city. And I'm telling you, we got to do this. I'm telling you, we can do this together. I mean, look at it. Top Golf is going to Ridgeland. Did you know that was really slated for Jackson? But because of the politics of our state politicians and them wanting to kill Jackson and our governor and lieutenant governor, that's why it's not here. Did you know that the lieutenant governor told the mayor that if he didn't give him the airport, he wasn't doing anything for Jackson? Did you know? Did you know that right now a company has been picking up the trash in Jackson, doing a great job, and it's $300,000 cheaper, way cheaper than the other vendor? But did you know that they still won't give them a 6-year contract? I mean, come on, y'all. I mean, look, Ray Charles can see this. We got to fight. We got to stand for what's right. They're still doing the stuff they did in the 60s. They're still appraising our houses cheaper. They're still redlining. And it's serious. Listen, I'm just telling you. I know I sound like I'm bending, but I'm serious. And I need your support. I need your help. And we can stand together. And I need your support for State Senator, District 29. I'm going to run. I'm running. I'm fighting. And I'm going to fight for my people. I need people to stand with me. Let's fight together. There's nothing we can't do together. Together, we build. Together, we can change the very fabric of this state. We can do this together. All right? So listen, thank you so much, man, for even joining me today. I'm telling you, I've been a little silent. I've really just been trying to figure it out, Floyd. I've been trying to figure out, how do we approach this? How do we walk this out? How do we really do this together? I know many of us have different things we do and believe and all this stuff, but how do we come together for the common good? And I believe we can. I believe we can stand we can make a difference in our community. But we must have strong leadership, strong voices, and people that are not afraid. God bless you. We're going to catch up again tomorrow. I got a lot more to tell you. I'm telling you, it's going to be a great day, and we're going to make it. All right? God bless. Peace.